So I want to just add one other thing for those who may be watching and not be aware of it. On the Noah Webster Educational Foundation website, which is NWEF.org, O-R-G, there's a section there where people, regardless of where you are in this country, you can go there and you can learn about your state's educational system. You can learn about your Constitution and what the Constitution says about education in your state, the structure of the education in your state, the laws regarding education in your state, the processes whether people are elected to certain offices, whether they are appointed to certain offices, and that varies from state to state and even board to board. And so all of that information you can get on our website. We encourage parents and community members to be engaged in their schools, public schools, private schools, the homeschooling community. Ultimately, this is all about making education better in this country, making our country better because of it, our families and our society better. And so we are encouraging people to be proactive and working hard to make a better education. So there's ways you can get involved. If you're not happy with what's going on, you may or may not be the right person to be on a school board, but maybe you should explore it. There's things you can learn. There are things that are you the right person for that kind of a job? And if so, how do you go about it? And so there's these kind of things that you can learn from our website. And our goal is to help make education better in this country. So Vincent, I want to thank you again for the time you've spent with us today, the insight that you've given us. Any final thing you'd like to say to our listeners today?
One thing I was actually very proud of, as you can see from my post, that I was very focused on my children's education in school. I was volunteering myself, and most of the time I was like the only father. Most of the time it's mostly mothers who volunteer in PTAs and school activities. So I was very much involved because I thought I have boys, so I have to be more involved in the equation of father or mother who is more involved in their studies, because I thought it's my responsibility. And in spite of me remaining very active, quite interested in their education, I still didn't know who my school board member was. I still didn't know how many school board members we have and what decisions they make and where they meet. I had no clue, in spite of me being heavily invested and interested in education. So the first thing, as a small thing that you can advise, is for people who cares about education, is to know that who your local school board member is, and establish a link. And that's a person who can take whatever you think to these decision-making bodies.
Excellent.
It's a small first step.
Excellent. Well, that's great advice. Thank you so much for sharing with us today, Vincent. And we really appreciate it.
No, thank you so much, Melvin, for having me. This is great, and I really appreciate you considering me for this talk.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.